Cardinals' schedule has just been leaked. That's right, their full 2026 schedule, opponents, days, NFL weeks that it'll take place is all coming your way right here on Cardinals Today, presented by Prize Picks. Remember to use code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue, and let's dive in to every matchup that the Arizona Cardinals will have in 2026. This will be a fun one, ladies and gentlemen, so let's gear up. Week 1, it is Cardinals at Chargers, a newer sort of matchup here. This one will be kind of fun to watch. New offensive coordinator for the Chargers, new offensive coordinator for the Cardinals, although I think LaFleur is going to be running that show for us. Next up, Cardinals will host the Seahawks right away, the defending Super Bowl champions, in Week 2, and then travel to San Francisco. You got a couple divisional matchups early. Tough first 3 games, not going to lie. But then, Week 4 at the Giants. Giants aren't necessarily awful, but they also were one of the teams with one of the top draft picks last year. Could this be winnable for the Cardinals? Then, the Cardinals will host the Detroit Lions in Week 5. Week 6, the Cardinals will travel to L.A. and play at Los Angeles. Mike LaFleur facing his former team. And then Week 7, it is Cardinals versus Broncos, another team with a stout defense. That Cardinals offense and new offensive weapons will be put to the test here against Denver. And then the Cardinals get to go at Dallas. They come to Arlington again, actually. The Cardinals played in Dallas last season and got the win, actually. We'll talk about that matchup in a little bit, but Cardinals at Cowboys seems to bode well for Cardinals fans. Week 9, the Cardinals then will play the Seahawks again, obviously, but they get both of those knocked out of the way by Week 9. This time it's in Seattle. Then Arizona gets to host the Rams, and Week 11 they go at Kansas City, likely to face Patrick Mahomes. So we'll see what that quarterback battle's looking like. It's either Carson Beck versus Mahomes or Brissett versus Mahomes. We shall see in Week 11. Week 12, it is Cardinals hosting the Washington Commanders. And then Week 13, the Cardinals are given a bye week and get to rest up and get set. Week 14, the Cardinals host the Eagles. And Week 15, they host the Jets. Back-to-back home games there. The Jets, maybe the most winnable game on this Cardinals schedule, folks. I'm not kidding. Then Arizona will travel at New Orleans to play the Saints in Week 16. And then the last 2 games that have been leaked, Week 17, home against the Raiders, and Week 18, home against the 49ers. So essentially, the Cardinals schedule, with all the NFL games that have been confirmed and all the leaks that have come out, we've been able to piece together what the Arizona Cardinals schedule will look like, and that is it. And that is why you hit that subscribe button. If you are a diehard Arizona Cardinals fan, we make daily videos here on this channel. And we will be doing watch parties for a decent amount of the Cardinals games, but also live shows for Cardinals news and rumors. I think the main thing you're getting here is Cardinals videos coming your way, content during the season, all weekdays as often as we can. News, rumors. If you're a diehard Cardinals fan, this is the channel for you. That's why you should subscribe for free. It's free. Hit the sub button. Let's dive into more of these matchups. Marquee matchups and a schedule summary for you guys. So 9 home games, 8 away games. Cardinals got a slight advantage here with those 9 home games. None in primetime, though. Are we surprised? I don't know. But more so, I would have liked to see them in primetime. Just as a fan of getting the big game and the bright lights. It's always a little bit fun. That Cardinals-Cowboys game was actually a Monday Night Football. And it was fun to watch. Cardinals got some playmakers. Why not put Jeremiyah Love in primetime? Not this year. And then the bye in Week 13. So towards the back half of the season, Cardinals get to rest up. Let's talk about marquee matchups in the schedule as well. Okay, so we'll start weeks 1 to 4. Like, what's a matchup here that I'm really looking at? I'm going to go Cardinals-Seahawks here. Okay, there's some implications. Obviously, it's the first game in the division, and it comes early. Okay, we're talking about this in Week 2. You're already playing someone in the NFC West, right? And let's see how Mike LaFleur does. Calling the shots. He's the man in charge. He's the leader of this football team now. The big reason you brought him over, one of the big reasons, is a young offensive mind working under Sean McVay, but also you want to be competitive in this division for once and for all. Can LaFleur help you do that? This will be a big tone-setting matchup against the defending Super Bowl champions. If it's an absolute blowout, that's different than if the Cardinals actually make it somewhat interesting. We got more to dive into, But let's give a special shout out to our friends at SeatGeek. First of all, today's show made possible by SeatGeek. It's time to get out of the house. There's not many better options right now than a sporting event. Use code CHAT10 to get 10% off your next set of tickets. MLB is in full swing. NBA and NHL playoffs are here, and the NFL schedule is out today. You can also now get World Cup tickets on SeatGeek. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience to go to a World Cup game while it's in America. But more importantly, Cardinals have 9 home games this season. I want to be able to watch this new offense take the field, celebrate our new offensive head coach, watch Jeremiyah Love's rookie year in person, go to SeatGeek to make that easy. SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know if you're getting a good deal. And I would look for that green dot. Look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. SeatGeek gets you the best deals. And, of course, I have a code for you guys. You can use code CHAT10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That is 10% off any tickets with promo code CHAT10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek. All right, moving on with the Cardinals' schedule. Marquee matchup between Week 5 and 8. You've got the Lions, Rams, Broncos, and Cowboys. I like a couple of them here, actually. Let's start with Cardinals-Rams. Storyline here. Mike LaFleur was just the OC for Sean McVay in L.A. Imagine LaFleur pulls the upset off and the Cardinals win this game. I do think they beat the Rams one time out of the 2 they play, all right? You're not going to get swept by the division, hopefully. I mean, it's a tough division, but division games, there's always something funky that could happen. I think this could be one of the games here. First time playing L.A., LaFleur, McVay, they'll shake hands, hug it out, but this would be awesome for Cardinals fans. I'm watching this one closely. Also, Dallas. Cowboys fans are scared to play the Cardinals, okay? Feels like Arizona's had their number a little bit the past couple of seasons. And so I mentioned the game where Arizona beat them, Cowboys 7-9-1, losing record, winnable division, but they just couldn't get it done. Losing the Cardinals was actually a huge loss for them. Man, being a Cowboys fan, it must be terrible. My producer Ethan over there shaking his head. But 3-14, the Cardinals, one of their only wins was the Dallas Cowboys. So I do think this could be one that excites Cardinals fans to get another win. Marvin Harrison Jr. looked great in this game, by the way. I mean, he was absolutely cooking DeRon Bland. Watch that one touchdown where he just absolutely broke his ankles. He could be a fun player to watch. I do hope we get Marv on a bounce-back season this year. Then let's go to weeks 9 to 13. Seahawks and Rams again at Chiefs versus Commanders, and then the bye. Since we've already talked about the Seahawks and Rams and the division implications here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the Chiefs game. I think the Kansas City Chiefs, a lot of eyes going to be on them as always. Last year they're 6-11. Does that even sound right? It doesn't. Mahomes going to be healthy by that point, barring any other injuries. I made a joke about what the quarterback battle will be, but this is a game that sneakily, if the Kansas City Chiefs are bad again, it's sneakily winnable, but would give the Cardinals a lot of buzz and press for being in this game, right? Kansas City, they played a lot of close games last year. They lost a lot of games last year that many people picked them to win. And, if we could have some fun and upset the Chiefs in this one Sunday, November 22nd, in Kansas City, I'm not predicting it, but I do think that this will be a matchup that actually has eyes on it, and the Cardinals have a chance to show themselves on to the neutral fans on TV what this new offense looks like. Also, the Commanders is a game that's sneakily winnable. Not even sneakily. I mean, Washington was bad last year. They were bad, 5-12, and Jaden Daniels, got hurt, but he was not playing well when he was healthy last year. It was a different Jaden Daniels than we saw in his rookie year. So, for a team that had 5 wins last year versus a team that had 3 wins last year, why couldn't the Cardinals win this game? Now, I do think that the Cardinals are, I don't want to say incentivized to tank, but they're probably not going to be competing for the playoffs, and it's probably going to benefit them to lose games down the stretch. But teams don't think like that. Young players don't think like that. Coaches who just started don't think like that. Arizona might sneakily win some games, and then, well, what? The fans are going to complain that they messed up the number 1 pick because they're going to win a meaningless game in Week 16? Probably. But this one in particular, it's earlier than that, against a team that the Cardinals could win. I'm watching to see how Arizona looks against other bad teams in the league to see if we are closer than people think after you get that franchise quarterback in 2027. Let's analyze some more matchups, but also let's analyze my prize picks lineup, guys, because I got one that could win a payout of $100. So $16 is only what I placed on it. So we'll start with Karis LeVert, more than 3.5 points. I think that he's done that multiple times. He's actually looked pretty good in this Cleveland series. So more than 3.5 is a goblin play. That looks good. I'm also going to say this is the Donovan Mitchell game Friday night. Mitchell, more than 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists is what I am picking to happen. Mitchell had that crazy second half 2 games ago where he had 39 points in the second half. It was unbelievable. Also, Evan Mobley, I'm going to go more than 3.5 assists for the big fella. He's been dropping dimes throughout this series. James Harden has started scoring once again. The Beard, fear the Beard, more than 14.5 points. He just dropped 30 as the Cavs' leading scorer in a pivotal Game 5. Also, Jarrett Allen, I'm going to go more than 7.5 points for him. That's something he's been doing pretty consistently, and he's battling down low, getting offensive rebounds and put-back layups. Finally, Stephon Castle, more than 11.5 points. That's Stephon Castle is actually a scoring machine. Love his mid-range. I think it's a pretty sweet lineup that I'm excited about, and you guys can make the same one. Play alongside all of us at Chat Sports. Get $50 when you play your first $5 entry with code HMA. The link is also in the comment section and description of today's video. Code HMA gets you $50 in lineups when you play your first 5 Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right, let's get a couple more here. Weeks 14 to 15. You got the Eagles, Jets, Saints, Raiders, and 49ers. Some good teams on this list, right? I'm highlighting Cardinals, Jets. Give me this matchup in Week 15. This is the one you're going to want to stay tuned. All eyes on this one, folks. This might be the tank ball. This might be number 1 pick on the line right here. Unfortunately, the Cardinals don't play the Dolphins. They have the 2 hardest schedules in the league, the Cardinals and the Dolphins. But Cardinals, Jets, baby. Both teams desperately need their quarterback of the future. Both teams were 3-14 last year. We're going to host the Jets. This is the one that's going to have some draft implications for you Cardinals fans. So might Week 17 versus the Las Vegas Raiders. You know, Vegas, the number 1 pick in the draft last year. I don't know that they're going to play Mendoza right away. They won't. The question is, will he be playing by this time, by this point in the season? Will Carson Beck be playing at this point in the season? Could both of them be getting their first start around this time? Sneakily, 2, 3, and 14 teams from last year. This is going to have a lot of draft implications, and might be fun to watch some of the young new players go to work here on both Las Vegas and Arizona's side of things. I want to know, Cardinals fans, what game are you most excited about? Comment down below the matchup that you can't wait to watch your Cardinals play. Comment that in the comment section, and I'll go through and watch what Cardinals fans are thinking and hoping that their team will play well against, or at least will be a fun matchup to watch. But my final thoughts here, you know, a lot of playoff teams on this list for the Arizona Cardinals. They say it's the hardest schedule in the league. It's a tough schedule. I'm not going to lie. It's not looking great in terms of the Cardinals' win total for 2026, if you're looking at it from that perspective. What is looking great, though, is the Cardinals' chances to have a top pick in 2027. And when we fast forward to next offseason, that's going to be a pretty exciting time in Arizona. I'm not going to lie. So we'll see. I think the goal is you show us some life on offense this year and defense. Let's get some plays from our flashy rookie Jeremiyah Love. Let's get some better offensive line play with the free agency additions of Chase Bisontis, who was drafted high in the 2nd round. That's what I'm looking to see is pluses. Not necessarily expecting wins, though, based on this official Cardinals schedule. That's going to do it for Cardinals Today by Chat Sports. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue. I appreciate you all tuning in to Cardinals Today so much. And I'll have another video for you coming tomorrow and the day after that. Appreciate you all, and I'll see you soon.